Welcome back. So, The Boys Season 5 premiere makes a huge change to Kimiko, but it's not just about her finally speaking, it's about what that means for her as a character. For the longest time, Kimiko's silence wasn't physical, it was emotional. Her inability to speak was tied directly to her trauma, guilt, and everything she had been through. Even when she could communicate, she chose not to use her voice because deep down she didn't feel like she deserved one. That's why the moment in season 4 where she screams while Frenchie is taken away was so powerful. It wasn't just a sound, it was a breakthrough. And season 5 builds directly on that. Now, Kimiko can talk, and not just talk, she's loud, aggressive, even a little chaotic with it. The show plays it off with humor, like her learning through TikTok and casually dropping swear words, but underneath that is something much darker. This is the first time Kimiko is fully expressing herself without restraint. But the key thing to understand is this change didn't come from healing alone, it came from loss. Frenchie being taken is what pushes her over that edge. It forces her out of that internal prison she's been stuck in. So while her voice coming back is technically a step forward, it's also fueled by anger, urgency, and desperation. And that's make it way more interesting because Kimiko has always had agency. Even when she couldn't speak, she was never passive. She made choices, she protected people, and she constantly pushed back against being treated like a weapon, especially by Butcher. Now, with her voice, she's harder to ignore. She doesn't need someone to interpret her, she doesn't need silence to define her, and most importantly, she can finally say what she wants, not just show through it violence. But that doesn't mean she's suddenly fixed. If anything, this season is setting her up to be even more emotionally complex. She's violent, still ruthless when she needs to be, but now there's space for vulnerability and expression at the same time. And in a season where everything is escalating, where the boys are forced to go on the offensive and things are getting morally messy, Kimiko's voice becomes important in a different way. It's not just about communication, it's about identity. For so long, Kimiko existed between two extremes, silent victim and unstoppable weapon. Now she is something else entirely. Someone who can feel, choose, and say exactly who she is. And that's what makes this change so big. Because in a world where people like Homelander dominate through fear and control, Kimiko finally finding her voice might be one of the most powerful things in the show. Thank you for watching. Bye.